we are mildly interesting guys, and we talk about some stuff. So welcome to the podcast, we call it Joel the Podcast. It's Alex and it's Alex, here for Joel the Podcast. Hello everybody, I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
And this is our podcast,
Joel.
Nice, it sounded pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, with the magic of post-production, it'll be literally flawless.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you couldn't hear, which I don't know how that would be possible, we have a special guest this episode, Maelstrom 1997, a.k.a. Cephalopod Master, a.k.a. David Lim. David, welcome to the podcast.
Yes. I feel welcomed. That's good.
This is an exciting moment. We've only ever had one other guest. We've had two other guests.
No, you had two other, yeah.
Because Ben was on the podcast that one
That's
time.
right.
Yes.
Plus
all the people that were on in SPS. So
yeah, I don't think they count really. That was
right. They were just spectators.
They were
listen
there.
up, SPS people. You don't count.
And we can say that because they're never going to listen.
Yes.
Actually, if anybody's going to listen, it's most likely them, right?
Yes, that's why I wanted to address them specifically to let them know that they don't count.
Yes.
All right, so welcome to episode 45 of Joel the Podcast. We're excited to be here in quarantine still. I guess we're probably not excited to be in quarantine still, but we're excited to be here and we're in quarantine.
Yes.
So first I wanted to let everyone know that neither of us owes the other $1.
That's incorrect.
That is correct.
As usual. No.
So, as decided by our impartial third party.
Parties. There were multiple third parties.
Well,
Right.
the first third party was
And
the
they
official.
disagreed.
First third party was the official decision. So other third parties are welcome to chime in, but they're not the official decision.
So what you're saying is they also don't count.
Right. All right. So sports wise, I didn't look at any interesting esports. Did you?
Oh, I forgot about that too.
All right.
Wow.
Well, we dropped the ball this week, to no one's surprise. But there's no regular sports still. The NFL schedule was announced this week, but it's not that exciting because everyone knows what teams will be playing each other already. So
All the
Whatever.
usual ones, right? I mean, their schedules are pretty much they're pretty formulaic, right?
they're extremely formulaic. So as soon as the regular season ends, you know what teams you'll be playing the following year. You just don't know what order and when until
So
now.
they announced the order, but everybody already knew who was going to be playing.
Right.
Oh, on the off chance that
Yes is the answer to your question, since we haven't disclosed the location yet.
right, okay. I suppose we'll have to discuss that after because I realize that any more detail I give in that question will just give it all away.
Yes.
Okay, well, we should move on.
So all right. So this episode.
Oh wait, we got some
What?
emails.
Oh, excellent. Let's hear the emails.
Yeah. David, would you like to read your own emails? If not, I can pull them up here and do what I normally do. But
I mean, it is my email, so
right. Either there's two ways you can go here. One of them is you want to deliver your email to us and the other listener of the podcast in the way you intended it, or two, you have respected my artistic interpretations of your previous emails enough to allow me to continue to read them. I won't be offended.
Okay, I don't mind how you read my emails, but because this is one and maybe the only opportunity for me to do so, I will take the chance.
Excellent.
Great decision.
and read my own email.
All right.
Okay. I believe these are the emails that I've sent recently. Subject line, I am a dumbass.
Excellent.
A plus.
Yes. As always. Hi. I would like to purchase the Joel the Podcast email button. Also, my suggestion is that you can use the AI quote generator and a web scraper and email the quote via email. I think you would be
that's a
pretty
good
funny.
idea.
Lastly, you should make a merchandise tab on your website and sell the button on there as an official product.
I have some incredible news for you. I don't know if you've been to our website recently,
I have not.
but it's there.
Excellent.
Oh, it is?
Go take a look.
I'm going to go take a look.
I'm going to
right
do
after
that
you sent this
right
email,
now.
I was like, "This is a great idea. I'm definitely going to do this right now."
Oh, and for the listeners, can you repeat the website address?
Yes. Their website, for those of you who don't know by now, is alexandalex at joelthepodcast.github.io/alexandalex at joelthepodcast.website. So you can head over there to send us an email, or it seems now to purchase our one piece of merchandise. Nathan, you need to talk for a minute while we visit the website.
All right. So one thing I'm gonna. Well, I don't want to distract David. Never mind. I'll wait on that thing. I was really excited to be able to add some ideas to our website. So if anyone else has some ideas for the website, if you visited to email us and you thought, man, this could use some more content, then please email us using the website and let us know what else we should add.
I have to
DIY email button.
I have to say I really dig the shitty neon colored block theme.
Certificate of this is excellent. So I gotta say, when I first got here, so for those of you who haven't visited the website for some reason, first of all, go visit it. But if you're too lazy, there's a listing in the store called the DIY email button, which is just it's just a button, not connected to anything. And when I first got here, I scrolled down and I was like, oh, that's funny that he would just put the picture of a button that might make people think they're just getting the button. But they are just getting the button. Well, they're not, I guess. There's also the certificate of authenticity.
Yes.
Yep, here it is. I've got it right here with me to show you.
Excellent.
Oh, wow.
It's a real thing. I took these photos myself.
If anyone buys this, I mean, why? But if you do, if anyone did buy this, I would sign this certificate of authenticity personally.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great idea. Yeah,
So-
I would as well. So
So you
would
could get
make it worth the $5 we're charging for it.
exactly. But all right, so we're all in on this email button thing. So has there been any developments on that since the last episode?
Absolutely. So the first thing I want to do is just show David the email button, since you weren't able to see on the podcast what it was that I put together.
Right.
So if you want to take your mental image of this and then go back and listen to the part of the podcast where I talked about it, it might make slightly more sense.
Yeah.
The second thing I'm going to do is get up and turn my lights on, because it's going to get dark soon, and it'll be dark in this room because I don't have the lights on.
Yeah. While you're doing that, I just want to share my screen for a second, because I accidentally clicked on the email us button on the webpage, and it's breaking my browser.
Oh, no. Oh, I just want to also let both of you know, I'm sure eventually you may discover this, but every single link on this website, except for the ones that takes you to the store and then to the homepage, every
Excellent.
other link is obviously an email link.
honestly, I'm disappointed that these pictures of the button aren't also links to
Oh
email
no, I
lists.
forgot I did that on the homepage. I'll go back and do that. That's
And
a
this
really quick
image
fix.
coming soon of the email button.
Right. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I spent
Yeah.
like 10 minutes photoshopping that.
That's quality. That's
Yeah.
good.
All right, are you guys able to see this?
Yes.
Whoa.
So-
Whoa.
Upon pressing the email us button, it keeps opening the mail to tab, and it wouldn't stop.
What browser is this?
Firefox.
Which one did you click?
It was the. I wish I could go back to that tab, but I can't reach it.
All right, I'm just gonna click it to see if the same thing happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Is did I accidentally create a link that breaks the?
Okay, mine just opens Gmail, so I don't. Maybe
Yeah.
you don't have the mail to configured.
Oh, that's. But why would it open it repeatedly?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like that's not something you have to configure.
Right. So,
And even if you did have to configure it, the default behavior should not be to open it repeatedly. Yeah.
yes. So for all
That's
all of the
hilarious.
all of the listeners who uses Firefox as their default browser, do not mail them until this issue is fixed.
If you're listening to this and you're a developer for Mozilla, please
Yeah.
fix this bug immediately. This is urgent. This is an urgent request from Joel the podcast because honestly, this would explain why so many people haven't been emailing us.
Right. They click
And then
the link to
obviously-
do so, and it just crashes their browser.
And then obviously email you guys to let you know that it has been fixed.
Yes, but if it send us an email when it's been fixed, Mozilla devs.
Yeah.
I know you all listen to this podcast, so don't try to hide. All right, but if you are having trouble with that, you can just send us an email directly from your email client. Our email is alexandalex@joelthepodcast@gmail. No, that's not right. That is right. alexandalex@joelthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I said the email, since I've only been saying the website.
Right. I mean, the email's so long and convoluted. I understand why you stumble over it. Obviously, our website is much easier to access.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right, excellent.
Oh, and
So,
the email actually has a second part to it, or rather, there's a second
Okay.
email.
before you go on to that, let's go back to Nathan giving the updates on the button, because when I asked him about that, all he did was show David the button and didn't actually say what the updates were.
Oh,
So
that's
let's
right.
hear the updates on the button.
The main updates on the button is that I have designed the PCB, and I've
Okay.
discovered that I can order 10 of them for $23, and that includes shipping. And there are
Excellent.
probably a couple of other PCB suppliers that we can search for to, check on pricing and stuff, but they all seem to be kind of in that ballpark.
Right.
So
So it sounds like the final product will certainly be under $10.
Oh yeah, easily, because the components are like 10 cents each. The PCB is $2, and the Arduino board is like less than $5. So
Well, presumably you're also going to print.
yeah,
kind
yeah, no, that's right. I always forget the printing thing because there's not like an actual dollar amount attached to a
Right.
thing that you print. It's just
But
like,
it's fairly cheap.
yeah, some amount of cents per gram plus some amount of cents per hour of electricity or something like that. So safe to say less than $10. I'll do the math to get it as precise as possible, obviously.
All right, so everybody keep on a lookout for this product. It's coming together, and it is going to be real. So
Yeah.
make sure. And so, with this update to the website, are you now going to add? Are you going to add soon the box for people to submit? Oh, right. That's a little more tricky, right?
It's a little bit more complicated. So yeah, that's definitely something. Once I've got this the button project underway, and I'm kind of just waiting on hardware. That's kind of where I'll focus next. But actually, there are a couple of other things that I was discussing just with David earlier today.
Oh,
that we
is
think
it
the
is it
email
about
button
the?
should also do?
That. Okay, why don't you go
So-
ahead and tell him? I
Well,
thought you were
first of all,
going to
cut back
mention
to
the
your-
stamps.
Oh, that's a good one too. Let's cut back to your second email first, because I think you mentioned the thing that leads into all this in the second email.
That's right. Okay. So here's the second email. Subject line, I am an addendum.
Interesting.
Because it was just a thing
Right.
that I needed to add to the first email.
Right.
I think the podcast button should have a speaker membrane and make it play the intro music when an email is sent. That way, it's fun to do it once in a while, but it gets excessive rapidly if you try to spam the button.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I think it's a great feature to have, right? Like,
Yeah.
we can forget about the rate limiting, because
What if I like our intro so much that it makes me want to press the button more often?
in that case, the annoying increase of emails, I think, would be offset by how happy I was that people liked the music that we composed
Right.
and performed. So
Fair enough.
I think I'd be satisfied enough to dig through. Also, we can just create a rule that funnels all of the template emails into a folder. Not that your emails aren't valuable to it. And actually, we wouldn't really want to do that once we have the box, because they'll all be different and interesting. But
Right.
Right.
we'll get there eventually.
All right. Excellent. Good idea.
But of course, that all led into a different discussion that David and I were having earlier. So first of all, the stamps. You should tell them about that.
Yes, okay. So, first of all, Alex, you need to see this image. So, I discovered earlier today that it's possible to order custom stamps with a custom picture of your choice on it with some obvious restrictions. And so I thought, man, Nathan's gonna be mailing out the button to whoever chooses to order that product. So what better way to ship the button than to use the Joel the Podcast custom stamp stuck on it?
That's a good idea.
So for the
Okay, so just to clarify, when you say stamp, you mean like postage stamp,
Yes.
not like ink stamp.
No. Postage
Correct.
stamp. Yeah, I should have clarified for the people who cannot see
Yeah.
what the stamp is.
Right.
So it's for those of you listening at home, it's the same picture that is the picture for all of our videos.
Yeah, the cover image.
it's the new cover image.
Yes, it is.
Right. I guess that'd be
in-
too small to really.
Yeah, in stamp form, there's no chance of it coming through. I bet they probably cut the resolution on the stamp. They don't just.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost certainly.
But I was very excited to hear that we can have more ridiculously customized. And speaking of ridiculously customized, man, I've got something great to tell you afterwards. We want to
Okay.
here.
Great.
There's so many tangents. This is,
All these insider informations that other listeners cannot access.
yeah. Except
This
this
is the-
time, David's going to access them.
Right.
because
This
he's
is
on
the
podcast.
this is the benefit of emailing us. You
Yeah.
get to
Right.
access to all this insider info.
Man, all the other listeners are really missing out.
Yes. All right. Great. So is there anything else related to this beyond the stamp?
There was one more feature that we were considering adding based on the fact that the email button will have a speaker.
Okay, what's that?
We think this is technically feasible, but haven't quite mapped out how you would do it. Got some ideas, but it'll take some experimentation, I think. But what we would like to do is, since this thing is basically a little internet-connected microcontroller with a speaker on it, and for 99.9% of its life it's just sitting waiting for you to click a button, wouldn't it be great if every few minutes it asked Google if a YouTube video had been uploaded by Joel the Podcast?
Ooh, that
And
is a
if
good
so, played the entire audio of that video.
idea. Okay. What if instead of playing the entire audio, it just plays some notification sound? Because that's much more feasible.
Okay, yeah, that would definitely be much more feasible. And in fact, I was talking with Shelby about this earlier today, and she suggested that the notification sound also be the theme music to the podcast, which I think is a good idea as well.
Well, here's my view on this. If I'm notified that the new episode is up, I'll be listening to it pretty much right on time. And if I'm going to hear the theme music, I might as well just listen to the rest of it.
Counterpoint. Oh, actually, I'm not really sure, because depending on how we use the YouTube API to get it, maybe it would add a view. I'm worried that if we just play the audio, nobody's going to go view our video, and we won't get the very small surge of enjoyment we get from seeing that one of our videos has like 6 views.
I think if it's with the embedded link, I think it does count towards the view.
Okay.
Well, so the thing is, I think what would actually make more sense would be for the controller to, assuming it had enough space, I don't know how much space it has, but to just download the episode from our Google Drive folder.
But then that doesn't give you guys the view count.
Yeah, that for sure doesn't give you the view. And we also run into the issue then that I haven't uploaded anything to the Google Drive folder in a couple months. So if we started relying on that, not only would I have to start doing that again, I would have to fill in the backlog otherwise.
Well, okay, so I mean the bottom line is that I really don't think it should play the episode anyway. Cuz I don't know, that seems like a big waste of battery, assuming this thing is going to have batteries in it.
I suppose it could, but that would add costs. Right now it just plugs in with micro USB.
I think the very fact that you purchased one of these buttons means you don't really care about waste of anything.
Okay.
That's true.
Based on our description of the functionality so far, there would also be no way to have it stop playing.
Exactly.
And while the three of us do live by ourselves, not all of our listeners might not, people they live with might not want just a podcast episode being played out loud anytime it's uploaded.
Without warning, just whenever it is that I choose to upload it. I mean, these are all fair concerns.
Let's start uploading things at 2 a.m. People will love that.
They used to get uploaded at 1 a.m. Eastern time because I would set them for midnight local time. But
right.
I started uploading them later in the day on Wednesday so that A, I had more time to edit it all together, and B, if you happen to have notifications on, the notification pops up and you're more likely to be awake and ready to poke on it, which I think maybe slightly boosts the engagement of the video or whatever.
Yeah, we're YouTubers now. We are increasing our video engagement.
I'm really worried about all these efficiency metrics about clicks and such, so I've started to adjust my entire life really to get more views on YouTube.
Yes. All right. I think we should start the actual episode now, unless anyone has anything else.
I'm good. This was a satisfying length of intro.
All right. So here we are with episode 45. We haven't actually said yet what we're doing this episode, but we decided last week that we'll be doing the Kids Bop challenge. I forget what it's called.
I think last time we maybe called it a game show, but maybe some of our listeners remember better than we do.
Whatever. It's the thing we did before where one person is going to read Kids Bop lyrics and give choices to fill in the next line, and then or to replace the lyrics, right? And then so Nathan watched the video, and so he has all the answers. And David and I will be competing to see who can do a better. And we'll also be competing with Nathan retroactively, since he did this before, to see who can more accurately predict Kids Bop lyrics. So I guess let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this I remembered it was really helpful for me last time to be able to read along as you were reading. So for Alex, it's on our YouTube, on our drive.
Oh, let me check that out.
For David, do you have something that I can share?
I'll just share the screen.
Oh, okay.
That's
that
I think
works.
that's more sensible.
Okay, that'll be quick. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started while you guys pull that up. So David, I'm sure you're
Are
familiar
the
with how
answers
this-
in here?
No, they're not. I've got
Okay,
them written
great.
down here on
Alright,
our theme music,
Yes.
which I happen to have nearby my desk.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know
alright.
what it sounds like, but I can't read music, so
Ah, I see. Right, so here we go. Our first question. Question? These aren't really questions.
Lyric.
Our first lyric, there you go, is from the song Thrift Shop by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. The lyric is, of course, walk up to the club like, what up? I got a big cock. Now, I think he
They
says
could mean
it better than I
rooster.
do.
You don't know.
right.
Maybe, yeah, no, that's always possible. Which is of course why maybe Kids Bop didn't change this at all. Who knows? So your choices are: A, walk up to the club like, what up? I got a hit song. B, walk up to the club like, what up? I'm a big shot. C, walk up to the club like, what up? I'm on Kids Bop. Or D, walk up to the club like, what up? Feeling real hot.
Okay. All right. So now I see how this is basically impossible. So these are all actually fairly decent replacements. I feel like "What Up? I'm a Big Shot" is like the best replacement, objectively. But there's always, of course, the Kids Bop answer.
Right.
"What Up? I'm on Kids Bop."
I was actually going to go for C because if I've learned anything from last time you guys did this game, was that Kids Bop really likes to rub themselves by squeezing their name in the lyrics whenever possible.
That's a good choice. I'm gonna go with B here. "What up? Walk up to the club like, what up? I'm a big shot." What's the answer?
All right, the answer is A. Walk up to the
Damn.
club like, what up? I got a hit song.
So that lines up with the syllables better.
It does,
But it's just worse. All right,
Yeah.
it
whatever.
does. It sounds a bit dumb.
All right.
Wait,
so
I have a question.
yeah.
Are there clubs for kids? Is
I
it a
hope
thing?
not.
Right, then shouldn't they replace the club with
Well, the
something
club-
else too?
Walking up to the club is not like a bad thing, and kids know what it means. So it's not like
I think kids know what it means just enough, right? Like if kids knew what clubs actually were, maybe you would not want to.
right.
Give
I mean,
those
like
sorts
the
of
kids probably think of it like a
implications.
dance club. So
Yes, I mean, yeah. In a
If
sense
you're a
enough.
kid, and you know what a club is, send us an email.
Also,
All right, let's go ahead.
also if we got a kid listener, they shouldn't be reading these lyrics.
Yeah, if you're a kid, maybe skip this episode. There's some inappropriate content.
Right. Yeah, you'll hear what the songs actually sound like, and then the Kids Bop versions just won't be good anymore. Maybe. I don't know.
All right, let's hear the next one.
Okay, so yeah, just before I read the next one, I forgot to say at the beginning that I think we said this on the last episode too, but we didn't come up with this. We stole this entire thing from another YouTube channel called Jack's Films. So thanks to Jack's Films for not knowing that we took all his stuff and therefore not getting upset about it.
And please don't sue us.
Please don't sue us. That's right. All right, the next lyric comes to you from the song TikTok by Kesha. And it is the disgusting phrase of, before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. So, your choices are, before I leave, brush my teeth because my breath smells whack. Before I leave, brush my teeth to get rid of the plaque. Before I leave, brush my teeth, and then I go and pack. Before I leave, brush my teeth, grab my favorite snack.
Ooh.
Or they didn't change this one.
I'm thinking this one's got to be changed because kids aren't going to know.
Yeah.
Kids aren't going to know what a bottle of Jack is. So,
I agree.
brush my teeth. They all rhyme is interesting. And that's good. My breath smells whack. Because I feel like that doesn't, rhythmically line up. Brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Brush my teeth because my breath. Yeah, it's too many syllables.
I think it's gonna be C.
And then I
Even
go
though
pack.
it
It doesn't
doesn't-
make any sense.
Yeah, but
I think kids. Go ahead.
the answer to the first one didn't make that much sense either. So
I think kids are gonna more relate to grabbing their favorite snack.
but why would
I
you
brush my teeth. Go ahead.
why would you grab a snack after brushing your teeth?
Why would you go and pack after brushing your teeth?
Maybe they're getting ready to go to school.
I just think, yeah, maybe you're bringing a snack to school. You don't know. I think I'm going with D. I think the kids are going to like the line that says to grab their favorite snack. And of course, no kid's going to want to get rid of plaque. No kid cares about that. So, I'm going with D. Grab my favorite snack. What are you going with, David?
I'm going with C still.
All right. What's the answer?
It's a lot of fun to listen to you guys debate what the answer might be.
I know, right?
Yeah. So I will reveal to you now that the answer, in fact, is C.
Oh,
I
no.
told you.
Before I leave, brush my teeth, and then I go and pack.
Ah, that is. I gotta adjust my calibration for what Kids Bob's to do. Just who cares whether it makes sense? That's
I mean-
gotta be.
I mean, for one thing, it's a universal kid experience, right? Like they all have to pack to go to school.
There you go.
I guess I mean, my stuff was just packed in the morning. I didn't have to pack up, so I don't know. But
Do you just
All right.
never take things out of your
I-
backpack?
I did. But then, I would put it back when I was done with it, so that by the morning it would be just everything would be in there.
Before I leave, brush my teeth. Then I go and put it back.
So, all right. Well, all right. So, 1 for David, 0 for me.
Yeah, so out to the early lead with 2 out of 13 questions answered is David with 1 point.
That's right.
Our third,
And just to refresh our listeners, how many did you get the last time we did this?
I'm gonna save that. Wait, how many did I get the last time, or how many did I get when I listened to these for the first time?
I just mean last time when I was giving the questions.
I want to say 2.
All right, I don't remember. So
I'm a
But
little
I know-
worried
I-
it might have been 1, and I really
It was either
wanted
1
it
or
to be
2. I don't
but
remember
got
what
the
it
last
was.
one wrong.
all right, I just wanted to give a little context here so I don't feel bad about myself. All right, let's hit the next one.
All right, the next lyric is from All About That Bass by Megan Trainor. My mama, she told me, don't worry about your size. She says, boys like a little more booty to hold at night.
Uh-oh.
So we're just replacing the second line here about booty. Because
Uh-oh.
that is no good for kids. So my mama, she told me, don't worry about your size. She says, boys like a fun girl who smiles and treats them right. Or is it, she says, don't let it keep you at home in your room at night. Maybe it's, she says, your body is perfect, no matter your shape and height. Or finally, it could be, she says, they aren't too smart. You can tell by the look in their eyes.
All right, so my initial reaction here is that A, B, and C make a lot of sense, which makes me want to pick them, which makes me not want to pick them. But D is just terrible.
Yeah, I think D is too inflammatory.
Yeah, I don't... So, okay, so it's got to be A, B, or C, which means it's a decent replacement. And these are all, honestly, it could be any of these. And I think... Let's see. What do you think, David?
I think it's going to be C, because it just sounds like something you would read on a textbook.
It's like
What?
a motivational. You're a kid listening to music, and you're like, "Don't worry about your size. Your body's perfect."
C's a good answer. Your body's perfect. See, I feel like that's probably the best answer. So it can't be the correct answer. So I think the second worst answer after D has to be B. So I'm gonna go with B. Don't let it keep you at home in your room at night.
Oh, that's a pretty terrible answer too. Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
So just for me, David went with C, Alex went with B. Is that right?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and the correct answer then is B.
Yes.
Oh.
She says, "Don't let it keep you at home in your room at night."
Strategy
just
of
like
picking
that.
the one that makes the least sense. Woo!
Yeah, that's not a bad strategy.
And that's not honestly, it's not even that bad of a lyric. It's still a decent lyric.
I mean, is
just-
it?
Yeah,
Well, I mean the rhythm matches up, the rhyme holds, and it makes sense. Like, don't worry about your size, don't let it keep you up. So, I mean, as far as Kids Bop lyric replacements go, it's decent, I would say.
all right. And with that, we come to a lyric from "Hot and Cold" by Katy Perry. And the lyric is, "You change your mind like a girl changes clothes. Yeah, you PMS like a bitch. I would know." And
You know,
once again, we're only replacing the second half of this one.
I've heard this song before, and I really don't remember the second line. How about that?
Interesting. Yeah, this is like the opening line to the song, I think. Been a while since I listened to it. But pretty sure. All right, so our choices here. So once again, this follows, "You change your mind like a girl changes clothes." We've got, "Yeah, you be a mess like a girl. I would know." Or, "Yeah, you feeling stressed for that test. I would know." "Yeah, you ain't the best, but I guess I would know." Or, "Yeah, you're a pest. Take a rest. You should go."
Huh.
All right. So A is way too good to be the real answer. Because it's basically the same meaning and sounds like it's like the same vowels even. So that's way too good to be the real answer. The worst answer is "You are a pest, take a rest, you should go."
That's
But
almost bullying.
That's like worse than the original lyric. It's not like, vulgar, but it's just you're piling on.
Yeah.
Right, the original lyric is like, you're suffering from like a biological issue. The
Yeah.
D is just like, you're actually just terrible.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
But I think it's too much of a change. I feel like they wouldn't have changed the "I would know" if they could avoid it, which they clearly could. So, I'm between B and C here. You feeling stressed for that test is much worse than "You ain't the best." So I'm gonna go with B. You feeling stressed for that test, I would know.
Well,
That makes no sense.
yes. I want to give Kids Bob a little benefit of the doubt, so I'm gonna go with C, because I think it connects with the first line of the lyric slightly better.
All right, good reasoning. Good reasoning.
You gave them the benefit of the doubt, but you didn't give them the benefit of the doubt enough.
Oh,
because
no.
The answer is A.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kids
you be a
Bop is
mess
changing
like
their
a
mind.
girl, I would know.
That is an excellent lyric replacement, and I'm upset that was the real one.
Fits in pretty well, doesn't it?
Like, honestly, if I wasn't like super familiar with this song, I probably wouldn't even notice that change.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
All right,
Kudos to
so-
Kids Bop, I guess, but darn.
We are 4 questions in now, or four lyrics, I guess. 4 lyrics in now. The score is tied at 1. So, still holding out hope that you guys both end up bombing the rest of these, and I
Well, it's certainly
didn't do worse than anyone.
it's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, our next lyric comes to you from the song Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. The lyric is, out in the club and I'm sipping that bub and you're not going to reach my telephone. So this one's a little bit different. They're only changing the first half of the lyric this time because, or are they, I should say. But the reasoning here is kids can't be singing about bub, am I right?
You are right.
So, how do we replace out in the club and I'm sipping that bub? Your choices are out on the floor, getting ready for more. Out in the air, cause I just don't care. Out on the street and I'm feeling the beat. Out in the club and I'm eating that grub. Or maybe they didn't change this one. Maybe there is no change.
Huh. So it's interesting because the first three options all have different rhymes than the first one. The original lyric, I mean. So I'm wondering, I wish I knew this song better because, like, does the line before rhyme with this line, or is this rhyme just like this line just rhyme by itself, and that's why it's okay to change it?
Right.
I feel like
I don't know either.
I feel like out in the club and I'm eating that grub. Say they kept the out in the club. They just changed I'm sipping that bub, I'm eating that grub. I feel like no kid would say that. And would an adult think a kid would say that, though? Still no, I'm thinking. I think. And since that clearly is the worst answer, I'm gonna have to pick that. Out in the club and I'm eating that grub.
Interesting logic. I like the way you're doing this.
Right, like, bit me in the butt the last time, but hopefully they'll go back to being terrible this time.
All right, what do you got, David?
I'm really lost on this one.
A, B, and C are all, like, just fine.
Yeah, exactly. They're not shitty enough for me to be like, oh, that's the one, or like decent enough for me to be like, that's okay.
You can also pick the same one, D, with me if you want.
Yeah, that's fair play.
And I feel like they have to have changed it because kids aren't going to understand the original lyric.
No, for the sake of competition, I'm gonna go with C.
Out on the street and I'm feeling that beat.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bad news, David. It was in fact D.
Oh, damn it!
Eating that grub.
I'm on a roll.
So,
Kids Bob
unfortunately,
lyrics never change.
Alex has now gotten 2 right. So,
taking the lead now.
I'm thinking more and more that I only actually got 1 right in the first one. So, congratulations, Alex. After only 5, you're already beating me, I think.
Excellent. I feel like you didn't go full chaos when you were doing this, which is clearly the correct strategy.
Yeah, apparently.
I tried too hard and then flipped my coin wrong at the end because like 6 of them I had as my second choice the right answer.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
So let me ask you this. So when I asked you before how many you got on the last one, you asked if I meant how many did you get when you watched this video initially.
Yeah.
So did you actually keep track of that?
I did.
Okay, and how many did you get?
I'm saving that for the end.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, let's hit the next one.
All right, this is maybe a song you're a little bit more familiar with. It's "Livin' La Vida Loca" by Ricky Martin, and the lyric is, "She'll make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain." So, what did Kids Bop do here? Did they change this, or did it stay the same? Your choices are: she'll take you by the hand and then go dancing in the rain. She'll
sensible.
pull you by the hair and then go
What?
dancing in the rain. She'll make you take your shoes off and go dancing in the rain. Or she'll make you put your socks on and go dancing in the rain. Finally, maybe they just left this one alone. Did they leave in taking off your clothes and dancing in the rain?
All right, what are you thinking, David?
Okay, first of all, B and D are both very terrible.
Yes.
I think, if anything, D is objectively the worst.
So
I
you're
would
gonna
agree
go with
with
D?
that.
I don't know. I feel like they're... If they did write this as lyrics, I think they're going too far.
I really
mean,
think
come on. Forcing
I will-
someone to dance in the rain with their socks on?
Hold on, it's even worse than that. Not only are they asking someone to dance in the rain with their socks on, they're actually specifically putting on their socks to go dance
Right.
in the rain. They were already had bare feet, and they
Right.
specifically put on socks. That is,
I think
That is
that
just-
That's
counts
like
as
a war
relationship
crime or
abuse.
something, right?
Yeah.
I think, so I agree with you. That is the worst lyric, and she'll pull you by the hair and then go dancing in the rain is also terrible.
Yeah.
And the other two are fine. They both keep the rhythm and make sense. It can't be no change. That's way too inappropriate for kids. What do you think, David? I'll let you choose first on this one.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with C because you're still taking off something, right?
Makes sense.
They've only changed the article that is being removed.
Right. Right. So okay. So I'm gonna have to go with. I really don't think any human being could write D as a lyric to an actual song, and B. See, I want to go with B with my chaos strategy, but I think it also might just be too bad,
much,
and no one would write that. So I'll go with A, since it's the worst of the A and C, since it changes more, but it's just not as bad as B and D. So I'm going with A.
You know, it's interesting that you didn't even give any consideration to no change, because in fact they did not
Oh
change
my
this
God.
lyric.
Oh no.
I cannot believe that. That's wow. They changed lyrics that have to do with alcohol, but they won't change this. All right.
So
I guess
okay.
they
priorities at
Okay.
Kids Bop.
Okay, to give them a benefit of the doubt, maybe their interpretation was that taking your clothes off doesn't necessarily mean you know going full on naked.
I mean, it kind of does mean that, right? That's what taking your clothes off means.
I'm sure it implies that, and that's probably the original intention of the
Right.
song, which surprises me more why they don't like. I agree with David. It's not like inherently a bad lyric, but the
Honestly,
intention of the song almost certainly was take
Honestly,
all
I-
your clothes off.
I feel
So-
like they seem to care. Based on this, I'll have to recalibrate again, because now I think they care much more about changing the lyrics so that kids will understand them compared to changing the lyrics that are appropriate. Like, obviously they're going to remove curse words,
Right.
but other than that, it seems like they're kind of limited in their changing of lyrics for appropriateness. So, all right, I'm recalibrating based on that.
All right, that was nearly the halfway point. This is our 7th lyric coming up out of 13. So
Oh man.
if you're gonna recalibrate, I suppose now's the time. Our next lyric comes to you from "Scream and Shout" by will.i.am and Britney Spears, and the lyric is: "You are now rocking with will.i.am and Britney, bitch." Pretty sure there's actually 2 nows in there. Like I said, we just copied this, but I can't imagine a proper YouTuber would make that mistake. So I'm not familiar with the song. Anyway, your choices are will.i.am and Britney, Sick, Kids Bop and the Kids Bop Kids, all the latest songs and hits, or will.i.am, This Beat Is Lit.
All right, so I mean, this isn't a no-brainer, but it's nearly a no-brainer.
I think it has to be between B and C.
There's no question that it's between B and C, and there's almost no question that it's B, Kids Bop and the Kids Bop Kids, because they're the ones singing the song.
See, that's what I would have gone for, but earlier I went for the Kids Bop, and it was actually the hits.
All right, so let me say this. I'm picking B, and I'm gonna try to convince you to pick B because here's the thing. Let's imagine you're a Kids Bop lyric changer. That's your job.
Right.
You come to this line where it mentions the artists of the song.
Oh,
of course,
you're right.
You're gonna be like, the artists are now Kids Bop, so I'm gonna change it to Kids Bop and the Kids Bop Kids.
Oh, that's a very good argument.
So
And impartially, I think him convincing you to go to the answer that he also chose, I mean, worst case scenario for you, you could have got it right, but you didn't. Whereas if Alex gets this one right, you could also get it right based on this convincing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but somehow in my head it's like, yeah.
I'm not really sure what you're saying, but I am genuinely trying to help you here because this is a slam dunk in my mind, and if this is not the lyric, I will be very upset.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's gotta be B.
All right, B and B. What's the answer?
All right, congratulations. Of course it's B. How could
Thank
it
you.
not be?
Yeah.
So Alex has unquestionably surpassed my total points from last round. I think David has as well. So congratulations to both of you. I guess I'm terrible at this.
Well, we probably just had I feel like I've heard at least a decent number of these songs, whereas with the last one, I didn't recognize any of them. So that might be something related to it.
It could be, I suppose. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
All right. This one is from the song "American Boy" by Estelle. The lyric is, "I like the way he's speaking. His confidence is peaking. Don't like his baggy jeans, but I'ma like what's underneath it."
Oh my gosh.
So we're just changing the second half of this line here. So your choices are, I like the way he's speaking, his confidence is peaking, don't like his silly hat, but I'ma like what's underneath it. Don't like his baggy jeans, but I like the way he's thinking. Don't know too much about him, but I'll try and get a peek in.
Oh, that is very weird.
Or don't like his crazy clothes, but I really want to meet him.
All right, definitely no human would write C into a lyric. That's into a kid's song lyric. I don't think that is too weird to be real.
What is? Okay, wait 1 second. What is this sound?
Oh, that's just me with batteries. Sorry,
Oh.
just fidgeting.
Excellent production quality.
Yep.
Right?
So honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that no change isn't an option here, and I probably would have picked it if it was an option, just based on the "Livin' La Vida Loca" lyrics.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't think it's C. Could be any of the others. A really makes no sense.
But they also don't change much.
A makes no sense, and they didn't change as much. B is a much better lyric because they kept the first half of the line, and it's at least makes more
sensible,
sense.
Yeah.
D actually probably keeps closer to the original meaning of the lyrics. So A is clearly the worst one, so I'm going to go with A. The worst
Alright.
one that someone might write, actually. I'm
The
going
other,
with A.
the other one's just so bad that even your chaos
Right.
theory rules it out.
Yeah.
All right, and David?
All right, I'm gonna take the opposite strategy and go with the one that seems like the best lyric here. So I'll go with B.
All right, and the answer is B.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Like his baggy jeans, but I like the way he's thinking.
Once again, the Kids Bop writers picked the best lyric,
They delivered.
frustrating my strategy of that,
Carefully
you know.
recalibrated strategy that is actually the same as the strategy you started out with.
Right.
Right. Well, no, the strategy I started out with was to pick the best answers,
Oh,
and then
was it?
then I calibrated to pick the worst answers. So now I might have to just be like completely random whether I'm picking the best or the worst answers.
Well, so
Whichever
okay,
one you
here's
pick, it's obviously going to be the other one, though.
here's my hypothesis. Kids Bop, maybe they have more than one group, more than one team that's changing the lyrics, and one team tries to make it, you know, like actually good, and the other team is just terrible.
They've got the good team and the bad team.
They basically have what it seems like is they have a group of adults who change the lyrics, and then they tell them to actual kids, and sometimes they just, I guess, ignore whatever the kids say because they're like, this is too good for us to be ruined by kids.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's hit the next one.
Yep. So that is 8 lyrics down, and you each have 3 points.
Excellent.
The next lyric comes to you from the song "I Love It" by Icona Pop. The lyric is, "I crashed my car into the bridge. I watched, I let it burn." Your choices are, "You rode your bike into a ditch. I watched, you let it fall." "You drove your car into a hedge. I watched, you let it go." "You crashed your skateboard on the bridge. I watched, you let it burn."
What? Why would skateboard burn?
I'm the wrong guy to answer that. Bring it up with Kids Bop.
Yes.
Then we've got, "You drove your car across the bridge. I watched, you let it swim." Or, "No change."
I mean, I feel like it's got to be no. Okay, my question is, why would they even change this lyric? I guess
I mean,
like
kids.
there's no.
Kids
there's no-
shouldn't be driving, right?
I guess the argument to change the lyric would be that kids don't drive.
Yeah,
So-
wasn't there a question in the other one where there was like a reference to a specific car? And it wasn't like a bad lyric or anything, but they changed it to not be referencing a car.
See, that one I understand because like kids might not know the specific car.
Okay.
But this one, it's like kids know what a car is.
Right, but do adults think that?
Okay,
Do
right.
really the question is, do adults think kids will relate to a car-related lyrics?
Here's what I think. If your argument is, and I can't think of any other argument, if your argument is that they're changing it from car because, you know, kids don't drive, then you're crossing out B and D right off the bat. Also, what is D? What is that? So
Driving a car across the bridge. In the industry, we call that swimming.
So it's got to be A or C. C is just, that's nothing. It's just complete nonsense.
Yeah. Which
So
is
it's- So
why
really the only rational answer if they changed it is A, but I really
Right.
think there's no reason for them to change it. So I'm going to go with E, no change.
I'm going to go with A for the very reason you just specified.
Just laid out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it makes no sense for them to change. This is a fine lyric. All right, let's hear it, Nathan. I'm ready to be mad.
All right, get as mad as you possibly can because the answer is
It's C or D, isn't it?
D.
Oh my gosh.
You drove your car across the bridge. I watched. You let it swim.
This is objectively the worst lyric in this entire quiz, and possibly
it
the
is.
worst lyric I've heard in my life. Because not only did they leave the car thing in, like they made and then they made it nonsensical.
Yep.
He didn't crash. Like, I guess their argument is crashing your car into the bridge is too violent, so you just drove the car across the bridge. That doesn't. Like, did they listen to this song? Do they know what this song is about? Because this is. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing I've ever heard. All right. Honestly, I'm not mad that I got it wrong. I'm just mad that this is what they changed it to. Oh my gosh.
I can relate to that for sure.
Ugh.
That was that one objectively is just terrible.
Man, I have to say, though, Alex being upset and ranting about the Kids Bop lyrics is the most entertaining thing I've heard this whole day.
If you want more of me ranting about Kids Bop lyrics, send us an email with some Kids Bop lyrics and I will do my best.
I think this should be a regular content, honestly.
My worry is we've now run out of content to steal from Jack's films. He only's done the 2 of these as far as I know.
Right.
So
Well,
we'll
I mean,
have
the
to
thing
come up
is,
with these ourselves.
you could probably just look up the lyrics to all the kids. There's
Right.
Kids Bop
that's a good-
400 or something now. So there's probably
That's a good
there's no end to the number of songs to choose from.
Right.
Yeah.
If the goal is to just upset Alex rather than to have a quiz, then you don't have to have the other options.
We could just do an entire podcast of going through and reading Kids Bop lyrics
Right.
until we find bad ones, and then we rant about how bad they are.
I feel like it's not like something you could just do for an entire episode. It's like
Maybe
funny in small doses.
Right.
All right, let's get to the next one. We are
Let's
over an
just
hour
move
here,
on.
and we're still got like 4 or 5 left.
Oh, are we really?
Yeah.
Time
Wow.
just flies by, doesn't it?
It does.
I never realized when we're at time anymore. It used to be that we got to the end of the episode and we're like, man, we've really been just screwing
Padding
around
this.
for the past 10 minutes. But I think once we switched over to the 20-minute intros is when we really
Right.
made it easy to keep on going. Thanks to emails from listeners like you. All right, our next lyric is from the hugely popular "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. And we're only replacing the second half of this lyric. So do we have your stare was holding, ripped jeans, smile was showing. Ripped jeans, skin was glowing. Cool jeans, wind was blowing. Cool jeans, it was snowing. Or no change.
Okay.
And we're just showing that skin.
Once again, D is just the worst lyric. Like it's nearly as bad as the previous one because for those of you who don't know the song, the line after this is like hot night, wind was blowing. So if they say it was snowing in the line before, I'm gonna be pissed. So I'm not guessing D. Honestly, if they changed it from ripped jeans to cool jeans, I'm gonna be pissed. Honestly, if they changed this lyric, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm going with E, no change. This lyric is fine and understandable to kids.
Okay, so I'm gonna say I thought I was gonna go with D because it sounds pretty dumb. And also, if any part of that lyric was inappropriate to kids, it would have been the fact that they're wearing ripped jeans, because, you know, it's kind of like the punk thing, right? So I was gonna go with D, but I actually didn't know, but Alex told me just now that the line after talks about hot weather. So I'm gonna give them slight benefit of the doubt and go with C.
Cool jeans, wind was blowing.
Right.
Unfortunately for both of you, they did change this lyric, and they changed
Unbelievable.
it to ripped jeans, smile was showing.
Honestly, it's not a terrible replacement, but there's just no need for it. It's just
Yeah.
pointless. And David, let me say, if they changed the lyric to cool jeans, wind was blowing, hot night, wind was blowing, I would be very upset as well on that one too. So, all right, ripped jeans, smile was showing. It's dumb, but
It is
Whatever.
dumb.
all right.
Very, very on brand for Kids Bop.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all it gets. It's dumb, but whatever.
All right. Our 11th lyric is from California Girls by Katy Perry. Got another song by Katy Perry on the list. And Katy sings, California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. Obviously, I forgot to format this one a little bit, so let's see here. This part didn't change. So we've got Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top being potentially replaced with sun-kissed hair, the weather's so hot. Hot, fresh jams, they call us Kids Bop. Fine, fresh, fierce, we got it on lock. Flip-flops on, a t-shirt on top. Or no change, they just left in bikinis.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen here. The last two lyrics, I've picked no change because I think that they're fine lyrics, and it was not no change. And this time, I'm not gonna pick no change, not because of the bikinis. Actually, I think they changed it because of the Daisy Dukes. I don't think kids would know what that is. So
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
yeah, me neither. Which makes me think kids won't know what it is.
I'm gonna Google it real quick, we'll see.
I think it's probably like shoes or something.
Daisy Dukes.
So, given that information, I'm gonna not pick no change, and it's gonna be no change. So let me just say beforehand that I know I'm wrong. But, let's see. Flip-flops, a t-shirt on top actually is the best change because it's just like, well, it's okay. Because it's like still the clothing that they're wearing, but it's just appropriate clothing that kids would know what it is. The problem is that it's like the point of the song is that they're, very attractive, so just a flip-flops and a t-shirt doesn't really convey that. Now, sun-kissed hair, no kid would ever say that, and no adult would ever think a kid would that's not kid friendly.
That's too metaphorical.
Right.
Yes. So,
D is too good, A is too bad, so we're between B and C for me. What do you think, David, so far?
I'm
Well,
gonna give both of you a piece of information that I'm not saying this is gonna help or anything, but based on your comment from the last one, I kind of find this funny. Since Alex, you said cool jeans, it was snowing, you revealed that the next line of the song was hot night, wind was blowing or something, which was contained in one of these lines here.
Was I wrong?
No, I think you're right, at least just based on my memory of the song. But what I wanted to point out was that C, this choice here, is another line from this song.
Oh, that's
from
right.
California Girls. Just for your information, I'm not saying that's the answer or anything. But.
Right. All right, David, let's hear your thoughts.
well, so I decided I need a change in strategy just for the last little bit. And I was thinking maybe I just shouldn't think. So I'm just gonna pick B with no rationale.
Hot Fresh Jams, they call us Kids Bop. That is a good pick. If I'm a writer of Kids Bop, that's what I want to write. Because I'm associating how good California Girls are with Kids Bop.
That's a good point.
And as a result, I'm also going to pick B. I think B is a bad lyric, but good for Kids Bop, so that's what they're going to go with.
You are both wrong. It
No!
was C, Fine, Fresh, Fierce, We Got It on Lock. They sung it
They
again.
just reused it.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's... Yeah.
Fine, but whatever.
It's fine, but whatever.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Bad job, Kids Bop. Let's go. Let's go to the next one.
We are down to the final two.
Ooh.
The penultimate lyric is from the Lazy Song by Bruno Mars. The lyric is, tomorrow I'll wake up, do some P90X, meet a really nice girl, have some really nice sex. So, I mean, this one's pretty blatant. You can't sing about sex in a song to kids. So we're going to try and replace that line with, meet a really nice girl, send a really nice text. Meet a really nice girl in a really nice dress. Meet a really nice girl, tell a really funny joke. Or meet a really nice girl, hashtag so blessed.
So I'm honestly a little surprised they left in P90X, because I don't think kids would know what that is. But the fact that they did means it cannot be C, right? It's got to rhyme with P90X, or at least somewhat rhyme with P90X. So...
You would hope so.
And honestly, you know what? D is such a terrible lyric that it must be the real answer. I'm going with D.
Alright, I just dropped my pencil on a piece of paper. It landed on A, so that's what I'm going with.
That's the best one. So it can't be that. Unless it's the good writers. We don't know.
Right, exactly. So that's why I'm just picking
Alright.
at random.
That's a good strategy. Let's hear it, Nathan.
In fact, it's the best strategy because the answer is A.
Nice.
Yes!
Meet a really nice
Well
girl,
done.
send a really nice text. And there we have it. With one question left, David has pulled ahead by 1 point, 4 points to 3. So this one is for all of the bragging rights. And our final lyric is, what do you mean? No, our final, that's part of the lyric. Our final song is What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber, and our final lyric is What Do You Mean? When you nod your head yes, but you want to say no. So they left in What Do You Mean? But when you nod your head yes, but you want to say no, maybe there's some implications there that Kids Bop's not on board with. So, your choices are when you sometimes say yes, but you sometimes say no. When you nod your head yes, and you shake your head no. When you take your best guess, but it always is no. When you want to say yes, but you want to say no. Or maybe they just left this one in. When you nod your head yes, but you want to say no.
David, what's your pencil say?
I haven't dropped it yet. I thought I should at least have the courtesy to wait until all the lyrics or all the options were called out. Alright, here we
Right.
go. It has chosen A again.
Right. So A is like, all right, let me give you my thoughts on these. 'Cause I have some thoughts on these ones.
Sure.
First of all, if they changed this lyric and not the Livin' La Vida Loca one, like, honestly, what's going on? So it probably is E. That's probably what I'm going to go with. But let me go step by step.
All right.
When you sometimes say yes, but you sometimes say no. This is a bad lyric. So it's certainly something that Kids Bop writers would write.
Also chosen by the pencil with a 100% success rate so far.
Right,
That's
and
right.
it actually somewhat is, it at least makes a little bit of sense. Unlike B, when you nod your head yes and you shake your head no,
How do you do that at the same time?
this is a better lyric, but it just makes no sense. So I'm gonna say they probably
Classic
didn't
Kids
write
Bop
that.
right there.
C, when you take your best guess, but it always is no. This is a terrible lyric, and it makes no sense. Classic Kids Bop material. when you want to say yes, but you want to say no. It's a fine lyric, I guess, and it makes a little bit of sense, so it can't be the correct answer. And really, I know I'm gonna be wrong, but I cannot imagine that they read this lyric and said, this is inappropriate for kids, when they nod their head yes, but they want to say no. That's so unrelatable and clearly about sex, so we must change it, but I can't imagine them saying that, so I'm gonna go with E, no change. Please let me be right. Let's hear it.
The answer to this final question is A.
Oh
Oh my
When
god!
you sometimes say yes, but you
Oh my
sometimes say
God.
no.
Oh,
Okay, I'm sorry. I took my
pencil.
headset
Hail
off.
the
I can't
pencil.
hear you.
the pencil has given
I am
us.
very upset.
And so, with a final score of 5-3, David defeats Alex. Congratulations, David.
Yes,
and I can now
congratulations
reveal
to
that
myself.
David and Alex have both beaten me. I got 2 points when I listened through to this on my first try.
How can they change this lyric to when you sometimes say yes? My gosh, that is so stupid.
So I think what you were getting at towards the end there was it's clearly about sex, and
But it's not clearly about
being-
that. The thing is, to me, an adult,
Yeah.
it's like you have to, it's a little bit of a stretch to say it's about that, and to kids, there's no way anyone would like assume that. Like, kids don't think about things that way. This is totally fine as a lyric. Oh my god. And then they picked like the second worst out of these 4. Really, at least they didn't take when you take your best guess, but it is always no. That would have been even worse. All right. Well, I'm glad it's over.
Yeah. Well, I would.
Congratulations, David.
Yes, I would rub this victory in your face and say you guys are dumbasses. But honestly, the real dumbass here is Kids Bop.
Really, the real
Writing
dumbass
these
is Kids
shitty
Bop
lyrics.
writers. Honestly, I don't know that I will ever recover from "You drove your car across the bridge, I watched you let it swim." That might just haunt me for the rest of my life.
It is genuinely the worst lyric.
Honestly, whoever
Ever.
wrote that should be in jail right now.
Seeing how upset Alex is at that lyric, I feel like that should definitely be included in his eulogy.
I will come back from the dead if that's in my eulogy. All right, well, that was actually pretty fun. I did enjoy that, despite that terrible lyric.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really like these episodes. I think good point pointing out that we could just look up a database of Kids Bop lyrics and maybe try and come up with some of these ourselves. So,
Thank you for joining us, David.
This was
Yeah,
We really
thanks
enjoyed
for-
having you,
Thank you for
and we really
letting me
enjoyed getting your
participate.
emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured.
And so, obviously, feel free to email us and join us again in the future.
Yes.
If you are out there listening and you would like to join us, please email us as well.
Yeah, if anyone listening thinks they can do better than me, they should email Joel the podcast.
You know what? I will go so far as to say anyone who volunteers to be on our podcast, if you so choose, can do a Kids Bop quiz episode, and
We will come up with the
more.
questions.
Right.
Right.
If you want. I mean,
If you
obviously,
want, right, but,
obviously
like,
tell us what you want to do, but we're
That
willing
way
to
it's
put in a
genuinely
modicum
a
of effort.
competition against both us and David, the new reigning champion of Joel the
Right.
Podcast Kids Bop questions.
Right.
Our all-time leaderboard is now pegged very high at 5 out of 13. That's actually a really good performance just in general.
Wasn't it out of 12?
No, there were 13.
Okay, 5 out of 13.
Yeah.
So, pretty decent.
Well done,
All right.
David. Do you
Yes.
happen to have a Olive Garden quote?
I do not, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, well,
thought
I
I'd
have
give you
one.
the opportunity, but I have a very.
Oh,
good
wait,
one.
actually, no. I do have one that I
Yeah, I
think
know what
is
he's gonna
pretty
say.
funny.
All right.
No, you don't.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you drove a car across the bridge and watched you let it swim here in the middle of this Olive Garden.
That is a
If
very
David
good one.
didn't have one, that's what I was
No,
going to do.
that's actually better than what I had in mind.
All right, well, I want to hear it at least.
All right. This is a joke on a conventional quote. Build a man a fire and he'll be warm for a night. Set the man on fire and he'll be warm for the rest of his life. Here in this model, in the middle of this Olive Garden.
That's actually pretty good.
Words to live by.
Yes.
Although I agree, it's probably not quite as good as the bridge one. It is much better than most of the other ones we've had on this podcast. So kudos to you for that.
So
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Look out for that box on our website to submit things to email us, and also just email us. I'm Alex,
I'm Alex.
And I'm Alex.
and this has been
Joel.